here for life.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a little sit down video. I will be telling y'all the story of my baby boy's birth. So it started June 13th, 2024. I went in to my Thursday doctor's appointment. Now I am a high risk patient and they had me Tuesdays I would go to Piedmont and Thursdays I would go to my OB, which is connected to Northside. It's not in Northside Hospital, but it's like literally next door to it. I went into my Thursday appointment thinking everything was all sweet, everything's all good. I'm 37 weeks at the time, and they put me on the belly bands. They're trying to hear Kristen's heartbeat. They're trying to see if I'm having contractions. They're trying to see if, he's moving. And Grayson moved a little bit, but not to their standards. Also, I was having contractions, and I didn't realize it. I did feel a little crampy. I was really tired, but I didn't think I was about to have a baby in 3 days. So I'm laying on the little table and the doctors are coming in, giving me water, giving me snacks, giving me this, giving me that. And like literally it's just not to their standards. And I hear outside the door, labor and delivery, labor and delivery. Literally a few seconds later, he came into the room and said, here's your paperwork. I'm sending you over to labor and delivery for further monitoring. Now, of course, I'm a new mom, so I was a little nervous because I'm like, why am I going over there? But I was getting a little excited. So I'm like, ooh, my baby might be coming soon. I was very excited to go into labor. That labor process, I was very excited for that. A little scared, but I was more so excited to meet my baby boy. And so I called my cousin. She's like, is it time? I'm like, I don't know. I call my mom. I call my husband, and he did not answer the phone. And so then I call my mom back, and I'm like, hey, can you tell him, like, hey, I'm getting sent over into labor and delivery. And so me and my mom are just kind of talking a little bit here and there. So I go over to the Chick-fil-A by Perimeter, which is the worst Chick-fil-A ever. Like, I hate that Chick-fil-A. And I come back, I sit, and he's like, babe, he calls me, he's like, I'm on my way. Mind you guys, I literally told this man, do not come. I'll be fine. I'm going to be in and out. Now that I know that if they send you to labor and delivery late in your pregnancy, you're probably not going home. He brought my bag, he brought his bag. Anything that needed to be brought, he brought it, and I'm so thankful. So once my husband showed up, we switched places. He wanted to drive, even though Northside is literally within walking distance of my OB's office, so we didn't have to do all that. We park in the pink parking lot. We get all checked in. Once we get to the triage room, I'm thinking I'm going to have my bra and my underwear on. The lady said, no, ma'am. You're going to take everything off except for the gown. I'm sitting in there. They're asking me a boatload of questions. My mom gets there and my aunt and my cousin get there. Doctor comes back and she decides, hey, we're going to check your cervix. This was my first time getting my cervix checked since I had became pregnant. I didn't care for it the first time, but let me tell you guys what happened next. The doctor has little hands. So when she's checking my cervix, it hurts so bad. When I tell y'all, I was on that bed shaking like a stripper because I was so nervous. My anxiety was so high during this whole process. I want to do it again, but I'm coming in with more knowledge, She checks and she's like, you're 2 centimeters dilated and I'll be back. Doctor comes back. She basically says, we're just going to go ahead and douche you because, you're late in your pregnancy. They don't want you going past a certain amount of weeks anyways. And we waited 2 hours. I think she's like a registration lady. She was just letting me know like what the process is going to be. She's like, don't be scared. Everything's okay. The worst part was having to get that in my arm. I had to get it put in right here, and I had to get the vein specialist to come in and they could not find my vein, so they had to get someone to bring a light to shine on my arm to find a vein so that they could insert my medication or anything, but they had to put it in there. Just to speed things along, I got started on my Cytotec, which basically softens your cervix up. And then when they told me they were going to start me on Pitocin, which is, just speeds up your contractions, I got scared because I heard that Pitocin contractions hurt. I had got to like 4 centimeters without any medication or anything. I was doing pain management, but I didn't have my epidural in until like the second day I was there, until like that Friday, which was the 14th. Putting in the epidural, it didn't really hurt. It just felt like a pinch in your back. They had to clear the room except for Dad. He sat there, hold my hand, and I basically sang God Bless America until they were done. After that, they started me on Pitocin. That was an interesting experience because I was having really big contractions, but all I felt was a little pressure. Now thinking back, should have never gotten the epidural until I was like at least 6 centimeters because I was not in any pain Saturday morning, Friday night. And so at this point, I'm not progressing and they start talking about C-sections. And so I'm like, let's not have that conversation yet. I vividly remember getting my water broken. I ended up getting an infection and I was laying in the bed and I was like, damn, it's getting really, really hot in here. I'm thinking it's just warm. So a lot of people in here, I'm getting overwhelmed, whatever. But Grayson's heart rate was going up really high. I don't think mine was doing anything, but I was basically sick. And so came in and he basically is explaining to me, like, we're gonna have to give you a C-section. I started boo-hoo crying. Like when I tell you, I wish I would have recorded this day. Boo-hoo crying. Couldn't be consoled whatsoever. My man came over, he tried to give me hugs. I said, no, I need my mom. My mom's crying, I'm crying. Why the hell do I have to get a C-section? I was not prepared for this. As I'm getting prepped for my C-section, they basically just upped my epidural. The anesthesiologist didn't really want to do too much because I had been sitting with epidural in for like a day and a half at this point, and I wish they would have done something else. So me and Dada get taken to the operation room. They lay me down. They basically tell me what's going to happen. My husband are sitting there watching The Neighborhood, and I got this overwhelming feeling that I needed to throw up, but nothing came out. It was awful. So they're starting to get into the surgery. I can feel them getting into the surgery. And at that time, I'm like, hey, I can feel that. So they stop, give me a second, they up my medicine, and they do it again. I said, hey, I can feel that. So at this point, I'm screaming because I can feel that. Next thing you know, they kick that out the room. They give me a mask, and I guess they asked if I want to go to sleep. I don't remember that, and I was out. All I remember is me waking up in bays in the basement of Northside Hospital. I creeped out. And so I was really in and out. I didn't even know that I had my son. I was not thinking like I just had a baby. I just don't even know what happened. But I was in a really, really great, elated mood when I had woke up. And I'm like, wow, this is probably the first time I've actually gotten rest. This is probably the last time I'm gonna get rest in the next 18 years. So I finally get to be taken up to my room. Like, have Grayson on the side of me, Dada's pushing him. I'm literally in and out, in and out. I really remember seeing my mom, my aunt, everybody sitting in this waiting room. They, for some reason, like, we don't remember you seeing us, but how did you see us? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And so I basically just was in and out. I got in the room. They had to have my husband help me move me from my bed to the bed in the recovery room. I literally climbed over, didn't realize I had basically a gap in my stomach, and I fell asleep. I was out. I wake up and I have these things on my legs, massaging my legs, and I guess I had to be in it for a little bit, and I'm coughing up so much phlegm, and it's just like uncomfortable because I just got surgery on my stomach. This hurts. All in all, my recovery in the hospital was really good. I had really great nurses. There was this short white lady. She had a bob. She was amazing. The black lady I had, she was amazing. My whole team that I had in my recovery room were amazing. I loved them. They helped me out. I feel like when I got home, my recovery was a little rough because I was just really sad because I didn't expect to have to get a surgery. I wanted to deliver, the way they say you're supposed to deliver. But unfortunately, that wasn't my story. But my son came out, is smart, and he's intelligent, and he's funny. And I think it really does not matter how you get your child out as long as the child comes out. And yeah, days later, but I'm editing this and I did not want to just leave the video where it was at. Thank you for watching, and yeah, subscribe and like. Bye.